Welcome to the mbaMission podcast, where every week we discuss different MBA application components and give our expert guidance on everything business school admissions related.
Hi, everyone. I'm Harold Simansky with the mbaMission podcast, here today with my colleagues Kate Richardson and Katrina Evans. Hi, Kate and Katrina.
Hey, Harry.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, excited to talk to you about the mocks.
Absolutely. So right now we're here to talk about the Wharton team-based discussion, truly a very unique and different type of interview for business schools. A lot of effort and thinking goes into it in terms of how these team-based discussions are put together, who's in them. So even before we begin, Kate, would you just go over some basics when it comes time to actually what the team-based discussions are, what Wharton is looking for?
Sure, absolutely. So like many business schools, Wharton has an invitation process, right? Where they review the applications and then, 6-7 weeks after the deadline, they'll send out invitations to their team-based discussion. And that is their style of interviews. They put candidates into groups of randomly assigned groups, and they have you work on a problem together. And this is Wharton's way of kind of mimicking the collaboration that happens during their MBA and assessing behaviors that you demonstrate in a team discussion. So it does cause a lot of anxiety for applicants because it's so different from other interviews, but it goes by fairly quick. I don't know if you want me to explain how the actual exercise works, but it's only 35 minutes plus a 10-minute one-on-one with someone who's observing you. So it's a fairly quick interview.
That makes sense. Clearly, a big piece of that is how they put these groups of people together, with this notion here that you really have to find the right balance of people so that everyone can shine. Now, here at mbaMission, we actually do that. One of the things that I think really sets us apart from other firms is we do Wharton team-based discussions. Our mocks look almost exactly like what's happening that Wharton is doing. We really try to balance the people there. We provide people with the same prompt. Obviously, everyone's on Zoom. It, I have to tell you, is a very big effort to pull these teams together. And the person who's in charge of doing that is my colleague, Katrina Evans. Hi, Katrina.
Hey, Harold, how's it going?
Good. So you just told me how many of these mock TBDs we do. Why don't you fill us in as far as what we do, how we do it, and just generally speaking, the effect it has on people?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kate begins the process. She assigns, she will work with the consultants. We have 2 consultants for every session, and she will work through when they're available so that we know when we can schedule them. It is what you said. The round 1 is a pretty huge endeavor. We have anywhere from 17 to 18 sessions going in round 1, and they could have 90 to 100 participants altogether. So it's kind of monumental when you're juggling getting everyone fitted into their preferred session. The next round 2 is a little smaller. We have around 12 sessions, about 75 people. And then round 3, we may only have 1 or 2 sessions because it's just not as heavy an application round. And when we start off, we work based on whoever gets us their information the fastest. So we ask them for their name, their number, their email, their top 3 preferred sessions. And we also ask them, and this is really important, for their interview date, interview time, and their group number. And the reason for this is that we want to make sure we do not put any participants into the same session who have the same actual invitation. To my knowledge, most people have been pretty good with, not borrowing other people's pitches, but we know that it is a very big area of concern for people, attending these sessions. So we want to make sure that they can rest assured that no one's going to steal their idea.
That makes sense. So really we get 100 people, then we have to sort of sprinkle them around many sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And from that perspective, when you look at a session, how do you know if you've done a good job or a bad job? What does a good session look like for you and a less successful session?
A good session is a full one. We like to make sure that everyone can have the session they want. Of course, it's not always possible to do that. So as we're working with their preferences, the first thing we look at is there anyone else in their top preference with the same interview? If there is, we go to their next preference. And hopefully you'll be able to give them either preference 1, 2, or 3. It's pretty rare that we can't, but you always get people who are coming in 24 to 48 hours after the invitations have been released. And as I said, we assign on a first come, first served basis. So the people who respond first with all of their details will get their preference first, provided no one else has picked that session. So it can be a little harder as we get further into the manipulation and the scheduling of it. But as you said, the sessions we don't so much like the look of are the ones that maybe only have one or two people scheduled, because then you have to go back to them and say, listen, we don't think we're going to fill this. Here's what we have available. And of course, you have to check that there's no one else in those available sessions with their details, and just try and get people scheduled. And we're juggling people from right around the globe. So you're accommodating a lot of different, time zones and people's availability with work and things like that. So we try to be conscious of all of that. And in the rare instance that we can't accommodate someone, this is where I'll turn back to Kate and say, hey, I've got a wait list of people going who want these sessions and this time. And Kate may then go back to her team and say, is anyone available to handle another session? And we'll actually add a whole new one to accommodate those people.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point about the global nature of these, Katrina. Like Wharton has switched to doing these all virtually for forever now. Like, they did it during COVID, but now they've realized how great it is that they can pair people from all different places of the world into these sessions. So, it's great that we can try to mimic that experience too.
Yeah.
And I will say that our sessions are filled with both our clients as well as this is an add-on offering, meaning even if you didn't apply with us, you can go on our website and purchase the opportunity to be part of one of our sessions. And out of all of our services, I always feel like this is one of the most value add. I don't know any other company that does this. I don't know how else to do it on your own, honestly. And Kate, from your perspective, what makes for a successful session, or for that matter, what makes for a successful candidate in a Wharton team-based discussion?
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, a successful session is one where, people come in ready to go and ready to kind of act how they would in the real session, right? But also open to feedback from us. So in our sessions, we book them for 90 minutes, right?
Yep,
Katrina?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay. 90 minutes. So that's much longer than the actual Wharton team-based discussion. So we spend half of that doing the actual Wharton exercise, just like they do. And then we spend the rest talking about how it went. How did the group do with the challenges they faced? How did you as an individual do? And what could you do better? So I think a really productive session is one where we, just have really good self-awareness and openness to feedback. Because, Harold, you've facilitated a lot of these too. We've seen a lot of them. So, we've kind of learned what works and what doesn't. And we like to share those tips in these sessions.
That makes sense then. So let me just end with a commercial. And the commercial again is, even if you have not worked with mbaMission to do your application, if you get a Wharton interview, by all means, come connect with Katrina, sign up for one of our mock Wharton team-based discussions. They are truly worth it. They're truly something unique. And another commercial, which is if you ever want to speak for 30 minutes for myself, Kate, or one of our other colleagues, you can do so by signing up at mbaMission.com and signing up for a free consultation. This is Harold Simansky, Kate Richardson, and Katrina Evans here at mbaMission. Have a great day, everyone. Bye, Kate. Bye, Katrina.
Thanks for listening to the mbaMission podcast. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts so you don't miss an episode. We wish you the best of luck with your MBA applications and look forward to helping you on your journey to business school.